Then we had to go get the media, bring the media in. And we had to tell the media, we need you to help us with this. By the way, we don't really have any money to pay you, but it's a great idea. And if it works, it'll be great. And we brought them in, we brought in social service agencies, and the more that we pushed the partnership and the concept, it was really pleasing to see that other people saw what Pete saw, that this really could be something that was terrific. Cut to the chase. We're sitting in the church parking lot at about 6 in the morning, right before the first day. We have no idea what to expect. The sun's coming up, we're sitting there talking. And we had said to Pete, you know, when you guys go out and you do your sweeps, and you do them for 4 days, like we're going to try this program, what is a good number of people that you can bring in? Putting everybody in harm's way as you're doing it, what's a good success number for that 4-day period that you as the marshal would be satisfied? He said, man, we can get 60, 70, 80 people. That's great. Nobody gets hurt. You know, that's a wonderful thing. So we said, okay, well maybe we can get 60, 70, 80 people. Nobody gets hurt because everybody's coming in voluntarily. Everybody would consider this a success, right? We had no idea. And I know that there are some people, some of whom I'm friends with, who will tell you now in retrospect that we knew that we were going to get 850 people, and that's because we didn't know what was going to happen. And the first day, we had a sense of it, but the fourth day, you know, 800 person rolled through the door. As Pete said, we realized that this vision was great. And there are two things about it to me that I'd like to impress upon you, and that most impressed me about the program. 3 things. One is it succeeds in spite of people like us. In spite of people who are prosecutors like me, or former prosecutors, or frontline law enforcement leaders, or judges, or any of the people with the titles who work in the government. We're necessary to the program, obviously, but it succeeds really in spite of us. It succeeds because of the trust that the community has in the church. We are not the right messengers. People knew that from the start. And our role really is to provide the support that is needed in the system to make the program function, but to know that we need to step back and let the community talk to the community, and then we just do our jobs. That's the first thing that I love about the program. The second thing that I love about the program is the volunteers. When we were doing this initially, we were getting paid. It was our jobs. When we put a call out, Reverend Matthews at Mount Sinai Baptist Church in Cleveland, for a pilot, put a call out to his members. Would you volunteer to do this program? It's going to be 4 days of work. We need you at the church starting probably about 6:30 in the morning. And we're going to probably keep you there until 7, 8 o'clock at night, maybe later, because we've got new stuff to tear down and build up for the next day. We're going to have 4 days of this. It's August in Cleveland. You know, okay? We have no money to pay anybody. And I said, you know, Reverend, how many people do you think will volunteer? He said, you'll see. You'll see. I'm hoping, you know, maybe we get 15, 20 people, because this is going to be hard work. And I walked into the church, it was a Tuesday night, and there were about 110 people. So, and that moves you, because you realize I'm getting paid to be here. These people are here because of their hearts. This matters. And as I we've talked to people in all the cities where we've done this across the country, what strikes me is that I was a prosecutor for a lot of years, and you're working in any system, criminal justice, making allegiance, whatever. You tend to think of it as your business. And there's you, and there's everybody else. This is what you do. It's your industry. It's what you do. What I learned through this program, which is very special to me, is that criminal justice / law enforcement work is not just our domain of the domain of the courts and people who work in that level. It's a community thing. And if you're willing to and have an idea where you can go out and engage the community and ask them to help you, it's not fake, it's real. People really want to help. And they recognize that they can bring tremendous power to the program that you can't bring. And when those 110 people are sitting there and you begin to talk to them during the training we put on and afterwards, you realize that there's a real hunger in our communities. We've done this in many cities across the country to help. We want to be a part of making our country better. They just need somebody to give them a vision and an idea as to how to do it. And there's great power in that, well beyond this program. We're only limited by our creativity. So I find the program to be very, very valuable for those reasons, beyond the value that it brings just in keeping our community safer. How do you put a price on life when it comes to that? The last thing that I would impress on you about it is the courage that it took for the elected and appointed leaders to partner in with us. Because, as everybody in this room knows, politics is like the air, it's everywhere. And we had to go to judges, prosecutors, and sheriffs, everybody, and say, look, we have this idea, I want to do it, it's never been done before, some people think we're crazy, some people think 10 people are going to show up, and we're going to be spending all these months putting this program together, and the news media is going to be there, and some of you have to run for election for a living. No guarantees for you. It's going to take a year and a half to build this. We're going to need dozens of people from all your staff. So, Carl, you know what this is about. Give me 10 people for a year and a half. Okay? I got no promises to you that it's going to succeed. We're going to try. We didn't get a no from anybody. Every leader said, okay, let's do it. And, there's a lot said negatively about people who run various things in government, and some well deserved. But when that kind of courage is shown, it should be recognized, because it's not easy to do. It's not the default setting in your life. So I keep that in my heart too. I remember that. Some people, frankly, that I didn't really like, but I remember that there was a good side of them on those days. They did a great thing, which was good to see. So this program has great value. It's very unique. I believe it comes as an inspiration, and it was a privilege to build it out. At its core is just partnership. It's a great idea. Put the partnership together, which is that public, private, nonprofit, faith-based, academic, right down to Chipotle and Domino's and McDonald's. Can we get you to partner with us and donate food for the 200-300 people that are working this every day, so that they don't have to go out in shifts, leave the church when we have 75 or 100 or 200 people waiting in line. Keep them here at the church and feed them here. It's a wonderful, wonderful collection of the community that does this together. And I treasure it. We're working on Akron now, and I volunteered to do that just because it's a privilege to be part of something like this. And I hope that there are other people in the country, and I know that they're always coming up with new ideas, that you can take on a challenge like this and see if we can make it work. Because it can be done. People want to do new, challenging things. The same old stuff. It's the same old stuff. So, with that, I'll turn the floor. If anybody has any questions before, I know Dr. Kretschmar is going to get into the data, and Kent State, I should say something about Kent State on this. We could do everything that we did to build this program out for the years that it took us to build it and then go all across the country. We've been all across the country. But as everybody in this room understands, if you don't have somebody collecting the data, organizing it at a PhD level, and then presenting it appropriately, well then we never really did the work, did you? All you have is nice stories and a couple of numbers, and that amounts to nothing. So, thankfully, we realized way at the beginning that without these guys, got some nice stories. So Kent State has been an incredibly valuable partner to us throughout this whole process. They've done a really remarkable job at collating this data and teaching us how to get better